Superstars, I'm back. I know you guys are back, you never went anywhere. You know, we got some more things to put on the car. So what have I got now? I've got a set of Whiteline anti-roll bars, best mod for a Subaru period. It just is. So I've got those 24mm, got them front and back, but today we'll just install the back. I've got the Endlinks as well, adjustable. So yeah, they're pretty cool. Just a nice kit. Had them on the other one. So there's just tried and tested. Literally the best mod. If it hasn't been done to your car and you've got an Impreza, no matter what, it just get a set. I would match the thicknesses front and back. So I go with 24mm just because it's a lot stiffer than stock, and it'll stop your body roll and stuff like that. You can go a little bit more into detail with regards to trying to make it. Some people put like bias in the back to try and stop like the snap oversteer. I think I've explained it in one of my videos before, but basically what Subarus tend to do, and if anybody's had one, they will know this straight away, that it just tries to kill you a couple of times. So what it'll do is, if it's on your like stock sway bars and stuff, and you'll go into a bend, it'll understeer and then give you this dirty snap oversteer, and then try and spin the car. And it just, when it first happens to you, when you first experience it and you're not ready for it, oh, it's tasty. Yeah, it's very, very tasty. So that's why I'm always sport sharp, all traction control off. I always, like I said, do the sway bars first. Now I can tell you from experience that most definitely the best mod is to do front and back sway bars, 24mm front, 24mm back. So the ones I get, they just solid spring steel from Whiteline. You can get hollow ones and stuff for the weight reduction and that, but generally you're going to get solid spring steel. They weigh a ton, but the advantages with regards to handling is just amazing. It makes it more compliant and stuff, and you can feel the car a lot better. And then when it doesn't give very fast, and you can control it and stuff when it starts drifting or just getting a little bit out of hand. It's nicer. I wouldn't just do rear and then not the fronts. I would do the rear. I'll do the rear and the fronts at the same time, same thickness, and then just do the minor adjustments with regards to the holes, so you can sort of fine tune it. I normally have the rear on a thicker setting with regards to it being stiffer, but definitely the best mod period. Is no other mod. I mean, I've got, now like I said, I've done one with sway bars and on stock suspension, and then I've got another one where it's BC like coilovers and no sway bars upgraded, and the difference is night and day. You'd go sway bars over the coilovers all day. Coilovers been set up correctly, all done nicely, balanced and everything. So it's not even that. It's most definitely the best mod, because it takes a little bit of the independence of the suspension away, because it makes it quite stiff. So your day-to-day ride will be a lot stiffer when you go over like bumps and stuff like that. But if you're cornering hard and stuff, this is where these things come alive, and they're absolutely beautiful. Definitely buy them. You don't have to get the brand, you can get whatever you want, but you just need to go for a much thicker. Don't go for 20mm and stuff. If people will, I don't see the point. You may as well just go 24mm, and then you can adjust them accordingly. It's going to be. It's not the most expensive mod, but it is the mod I would do to one of these, because they're all about handling. So it's the first mod, it's the essential. You do not do anything else until you've done this, but do the Endlinks at the same time. You can get tons of different Endlinks too, superstars, but I've gone for the full Whiteline kit. Used it before, worked perfectly fine, not an issue. Yeah, it's just beautiful stuff. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll jack the car up, get all those bits done, so the video is not as long as the last one. Okay, enjoy, superstars. Okay, so this is the install guide. Okay, I normally do it this way all the time. One washer on each, or one spacer on each side. So you can put two spaces there, two spaces. There's like a dowel that goes through the center. But there we go, there's the instructions for you. And then here we go. Installation guide. So if you need to look how to do that, you just pause this part of the video, then you're all good. Okay, superstars, right here. this is the kit that's going to be going on. There's the upgraded Endlinks, adjustable, and the 24mm sway bar. Got that puppy because I can imagine that's going to be needed. That is the impact gun. Got the tools. Got all the little goodies. We're going to need some of this because it's a little bit crusty under here. So let's... a little jacked up. Yeah, we got the crust. The crusty checker state of that sway bar. Hallelujah. Glad we're going to be changing that out. There's quite nice. I need to address a little bit of surface rust there. Yes, let's put a little bit of this on then. See what it gives. Just anything to try and ease this. Got my little magic carpet here, just in case I need to fly away anywhere. So these are the bolts we're going to be hitting. I don't expect a miracle with this stuff, to be fair. But it's better than not trying to put it on, I suppose. And there's some more. Check that crust out. Oh, it's catching the exhaust before. But there we go, we're going to hit that there. Can you even see? Let's try and go further back, superstars. Because we do not want to get this on the camera. If I remember when doing these before, and that's one of the dirtier bolts. But yeah, there's a nut, I think, that's stuck on the back here. But we'll just, these are going to be coming off, so we'll give it a little hit. See what it gives. Okay, let me spray up the rest of the superstars, and then we'll get back to it. Yeah, it's been nice to get all this kit on the beast, be gripping. With our part numbers here. KLC 182. Okay. So there we go, so that's us, yeah, 24mm solid spring steel. That ain't bending. So yeah, let's figure it out, let's get it on this beast. Yeah, yo. Yeah, so now guys and girls, only do this if you've got good self-esteem, because people are gonna, you should be using impact wrenches, we know this, but I do not have one that's the right size, so like I say, only use these if you've got good self-esteem, because people are gonna give you abuse, bro, because they're not the right thing to use. It feels tragic me just using it, to be honest. Trying to embrace myself with using it. Not even that, it's the reducer as well. Oh god, it's horrible. But you gotta do what you gotta do. There you go. Take the rest off with a spanner, but you're gonna get abused, superstar, so don't do this at home. Oh, give me a sec, I've got to try and get some extensions or something. That won't fit. Okay, so we've got another little state, another little shiny. This brings a tear to my eyes using these. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Oh, crack me up. I can feel the abuse already. Oh, I love it. Is that even a... No, give me a sec, so I don't even know if that's a 12 or not. The socket won't fit over, maybe. Okay. It's quite corroded, but I'm just trying to think if that's touching. Might be touching with it. Give me a sec, let me try and measure something. It's quite rusty, so I don't actually know if it's a 12. I think it's a 12. Because a 13 will probably be a bit too loose, but with the corrosion we have to try and figure something out. Seems like that way off, it's a 14mm. The reason why it's better to use, well, it's nice to have one of these impact guns, is just because when it's quite rusty like that and stuff, it just helps free up the bolts a little bit. You'll be sitting there with the spanner all day. And like, it isn't a guarantee anyway, so now what I'll do is I'll put, because there's a nut on the other end, right, and I'll go stick a spanner on that. And then, because now I think it's spinning around, so now what I'll do, so hopefully it's knocked a bit of rust free. I'll put a spanner on the back, and then it should loosen, so give me a sec. Okay, so now when you put the spanner on the back of this, you need to try and be clever with it, because these things are quite strong. So you don't want to lose a finger or something like that. If you put this too close, and it spins the spanner around, you're going to be in all sorts of pain. But lucky I got the power gross go. So let's engage this, and let's get some pump, get some power in here. Have we moved? Sort of. Yeah. You don't know. Now try and get that nut out of there. So people are probably cracking up going, come on bro, now try and get this nut out. And this, my friends, is why you do not use these bits. No, it came out alright. Loving it. Okay, so now this bolt here is my arch nemesis when I do these cars. Because when anybody who works in these Imprezas will know that these are dirty. Give them a bit of reducer quick. Yes sir. Okay, I've cleaned the bolt up a bit, and it looks like it's actually a 17. So now we can use the impact bit. Jeez, it's so corroded. Raining crusty bits. Yeah, this puppy ain't moving at all. Stick something on the back as well, but normally it would spin around or something, but it ain't doing nothing, so I'll put the spanner on the back anyway, and let's see what it gives. This is a horrible way to record this angle, but if you can try and see. So yes, so I use one of these. If I'm trying to break something loose, it's pretty tough. I'll use something like this with no teeth or anything, because I love to just snap shit up. So that's why I wouldn't use a ratchet or something when I'm trying to put too much power into it, because yeah, I'll break shit, especially when I get the rage. So I just cracked it off with that same way I did the bottom one, and then I'll use the ratchet here, because it'll just take forever. Now this bar shouldn't hit me in the head because I've got the exhaust here, but remember there's a little hook on the top anyway for the bracket, so it stays in. But if you've been messing about with it, be careful if this is the last one you're doing, because it'll fall on your head. I haven't taken the bolts off the other side yet, so we'll do that in a sec. So yeah, it's shouldn't smack me in the head. But just be careful about that. Yeah, you don't need to see me ratcheting this. Stop this for a sec. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll remove these off of here, and then there's not really much to worry about here with regards to the bar falling, to be honest, because I've still got these and stuff. So yeah, it's not going to fall, but just be aware if you've taken all the stuff off. Like I said, hooks on the top here, so it shouldn't just fall, but yeah, just be careful, because if it twangs you in the head, it's going to hurt a little. So yeah, let me unscrew these bits for you quick, and then we'll start maneuvering the bar around and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll do the same on the other side. Just slide this bolt out. We need to keep this because obviously we're going to use this again. So now this is where it could get a little bit tasty, because now things have loosened up, so you need to be careful things don't just drop through. So thread's catching there on something. Haven't got a hammer to give it a little love tap with. Okay, make sure that's still hooked to the top there. Hello? Come whenever you want, brother. Yeah, but there's some sway bar and stuff is tired, man. So tired. Catching on something inside here. I might have to just give a little love tap quick, just give me a sec. Innovation builds a nation, you know what I'm saying, superstars. So we're gonna have this ain't a chisel, but that's how we're gonna get this through. It's raw, but this channel's all about, bro. We get the job done. Because you don't want to tap it too hard, you don't want to ruin the threads and stuff, but yeah, this was just I couldn't put enough power, I couldn't power growth goal is not allowing me to lift this heathen upwards and loosen this up. So let's get a little bit of love tap and it's all gravy. See, like I said, it's hooked there, but look at this, it's gone, mate, gone. This bar is knackered. This thing is going to handle like a beast when I do the front as well. It's going to be an absolute monster already. It's going to be it's going to be gruesome. I love it. Okay, that's the other side, and that's how it should come out. Literally that easily. And now, so we hooked in. Okay, now everything's loosey goosey. Got the end links in there, so now we have to just basically, I'm going to take off these brackets, and we could have something drop, but I'll show you. Let's get you back here. Let's get you back here. Let's keep you a safe distance away, in case I bring the rage. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. See, it's sort of hooked up there, so we'll just try and get these off. I don't expect much to go horribly wrong here because the end links are still in, but you never know. Let's take the bottom one off quick. Okay, there we go. Dropped a bit. Did drop a little bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I should have bought a hammer. This is definitely a hammer job. Because this isn't going to want to come out of here, I wouldn't have thought. This may require a love tap. Yeah, might need to get a persuader quick. Give me a sec. Well, that's what I'm going to be smacking that sway bar out with because it's upset me. So I'm going to give it a bit of a chisel as well. That's what we do. Guess what what I thought would be a good idea is to do what we did last time, what I always do anyway, is get the corrosion off. So what we'll do, guys, let's get our bits. Okay, you see, I'll describe it to you in a bit when I can actually show you properly. Yeah, let's get all of our rusty bits. Okay. I'm going to put that special juice. The stuff is incredible. Okay, so what we'll do is going to use this rust remover again. Honestly, amazing stuff. Okay, so what I will tell you first and foremost is what will happen. See this sort of coating on here? So if you've got like any type of plating of any sort, and you like it, well, I wouldn't put this on because it'll eat that away as well. But yeah, you see all this rust and stuff? It'll be gone. Check these. That'll all be gone. This stuff's amazing. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, so let me pour some of this juice in and we'll go from there. Okay. Let's pour some of this in. The reason why I want to do this now is because it just takes a while for it to start working. These parts are quite large, so I don't know if I'll end up using the rest of what I've got, but I'll put these in like this sideways and then I'll flip them. You have to agitate a little bit and sometimes pour fresh because I don't know, maybe the chemicals that are in there, you can see it like foaming up. That's the reaction. Check it, see it reacting. Guys, obviously be careful with this stuff, like you can see it bubbling away, that's it eating the rust. It's incredible. And like I say, I don't think it's good for you, so don't get the stuff anywhere on your skin and rubbish like that. I mean, just be careful with it, to be honest. And then like I say, I'll flip these parts, but I'm just going to leave it now to just do its thing. And I'll flip these, and if I need to, sometimes you'll get some built up rust on there. You scrape it away and put it back in, and then it'll eat that away as well. So we'll leave that. I just thought it would be a good idea to leave that now because I can do the other bits, and then by the time this has done its thing, we can put it back on the car. Okay, so now for the reason you guys all came, for some savagery. What you want to see? You can, if these were brand new on your car and you wanted to resell them, I wouldn't never go full retard, but you wouldn't go full retard like what I'm doing now. But these ain't good for no man. Let's not break my drill here. How she blows. There we go. I'll smack out the other side as well. This is what it gets for not playing the game. Should have just come out nice and easy. And then I wouldn't have had to hurt it. Okay. Let's try to get out this other side for you quick. So you can try and see it all happen. Live and direct. I'll describe to you guys a little bit more about the sway bars in detail in a sec when we compare the two monsters. That's it. This one will come out a bit easier. No, this one wants a bit of a love tap as well. Then if you can probably just see my fat head at the moment. Okay, now this is the bit where it could fall on you. Okay, there we go, it's out. There we go, it did not fall on me because of the exhaust as I thought. Okay, so what is it hooking on here? Let's try because this is the problem with whenever you try and do these videos or you watch them on the internet, everything is so damn easy, and then you do it yourself and it ain't that easy. Because they come to you with that bullshit. Shit like this. See? This dirty little prick doesn't want to come out. If it doesn't come out, I'm going to hurt it. And I'm going to hurt it bad. I'm going to hurt it real bad. What this car doesn't realise is I'm not afraid to mess about. I'm not afraid. There we go, it's out. Let's do a comparison for you. Okay gangsters, I'm looking a little bit like the wild man from Borneo, but it's a little bit chilly. We're in the UK right now. We ain't got... There ain't no sun, bro. There ain't no sun. We've got the pen knife, so we're going to open up some of these packages. We've done a little bit of the stuff's open already, so... I'm going to slice these bits open. This already... Well, that fell out the end of the packet. That bar nearly took my toe off. So that was impressive. We cannot install these extra supports because I cannot get those bolts off. So what you would have done was you've just taken off those two, what was it, can't remember exactly, if there were 17s at the bottom, remember the ones I couldn't get off? And I said they always catch me out. So those, it's pretty simple. All you would do is you would replace these. I'll probably point it out. Let me show you now quick while we're here. Okay, so what you would have done is you've taken that off, that puppy dog off, if all possible. So this is going to be for me a nut remover, nut splitter or something, but I need to have another one ready to put on, a fresh one. And then this brace would go from here to here, and the bottom of that sway bar support, well, where it braces on basically. So it goes from there to there. So from there to there, and then there's a new bolt supplied that will fit on the end because the support is quite thick. So that's all. It's pretty simple. I'm going to fit it retrospectively. That's literally how simple it'll be. The only part is this dirty bugger right here. So yeah, once I get that new bolt, we're all gravy. Show you a little quick update video on that later. But this install won't include that. Okay, so now you can see the difference in thickness. So that, yeah, the Whiteline is solid spring steel. 24mm. The end links are, they're adjustable, also much thicker. The people don't always tighten these up properly, so you get a couple of people complaining, saying they come apart and stuff. You need to tighten them up pretty tight when they're on the car. Take this red rubbish off. I mean, these bushes are nice, meant to be like well, they don't need lubricating because they've got the sort of furry stuff on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so you look at the difference. Check the bushes, and these are just knackered. Look at it. So you can see how rusty it is. But this is the bottom, so if you look on the top bit,
there's not that much rust. So that's also, if you forget which way you took it off, you'll know which is the top and the bottom. So you want to have the, you need to have the bend facing upwards, so the right way. But look at the difference in thickness. Yeah, this solid spring steel is just, it weighs obviously quite a lot, but the rigidity is just going to be absolutely beautiful. So it's really going to help with the handling. Like I say, you're going to, I think most definitely, what it does is it will take a little bit of your suspension's sort of freedom away from it. Like, it doesn't allow the suspension to work for like as much as it used to, because it's quite rigid, so it'll stop body roll and stuff. But yeah, if you like that sort of wallowy feeling and you want full suspension travel and stuff, let's say you like the rallying stuff, you wouldn't go as thick as this. But with regards to street stuff, this 24mm is beautiful. Don't go for like a 20 or 22, it's not thick enough, just go 24. And you can do minor adjustments. You can see there's 3 holes there, so you can adjust it quite a lot. But that'll give you noticeable difference. And the handling is just absolutely incredible. You'll be munching your tires up and everything, but the grip and the corners and that's how composed it stays is absolutely beautiful. Like I say, you can get hollow bars and stuff a little bit lighter if you're all about weight saving. But yeah, I mean, most of them you're going to find is like this solid spring steel and stuff. But yeah, I'll put it on, let's show you. This is quite fun doing it by yourself, but definitely possible, okay? So stick with me. Little things that I think are worth mentioning, because this is what I found quite weird the first time I did mine. Okay, so you got your packet of bits. So these sort of spacers go in here. You need to try and keep an eye on the bolts and stuff. I wouldn't open up, the first time I ever did one of these, I opened up a lot of these packets at the same time, and I thought I'd kept everything together correctly, but I started having like weird things which I wasn't used to. So this nut, when you look at it, it's like a crusher nut. It sort of doesn't fit. You can see it's shaped as slightly oval, so that sort of locks, like a locking nut, so it'll lock it on. Just things like that. So when you start screwing it on, you think you're cross-threading it or something. It just feels weird, but definitely thought it was worth mentioning to people, because if you're not a mechanic and stuff, or like you don't do this stuff all the time, like I don't. Well, I do a lot now, but never used to. You just find it quite weird. Like I thought I was cross-threading and all sorts of stuff, but you can see it's slightly like oval-shaped weird. Yeah, take these plastic bits off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure these up. Is I'm just going to go with stock, because the suspension was already set up and stuff. I don't want to mess with any of the geometry, and these are just fixed anyway, so I'm not even going to use like a ruler and stuff. We're going by eye here, and like I say, I'll just measure these up next to each other, tighten them on as much as I can, and then I'll use this one as a base for the other. Yeah, like I said, nip them up pretty tight now. And then on the car, get them pretty, like a lot tighter, because you'll find it, you have to adjust a lot and stuff when you're doing this. It's a little bit of a mess about, but yeah, it'll be beautiful when it's done. I normally put in my the Endlinks in first, so what I'm going to do here, you don't need to do this, just ignore this bit. This is just something I use on my motorbike to protect the chain and stuff. But what it'll do here, basically I need to get these all fixed up and taken back to bare metal really and resprayed, and because I don't like, you guys know me, I'm not the biggest fan of rust and stuff. Okay, so what have we got? It's all a packet of tricks here. And we'll leave those washers for the top. So I didn't need to put those other bolts into the rust remover really, because you'd just use these instead. They probably a little bit thicker and stuff, and there's a nylock washer there, so you don't need to put any stuff on there to keep that in. There we go. Okay, so these are, like I say, just measured up, eyeballed them. Eyeballed, bruv. Okay, so like I've kept the nut on the end here, because last time, Jesus, last time I did, I was getting so confused. Let me try and move this for you so I can actually work on it. Okay, so what we'll do is, don't forget these. Oh, give me a second and get some copper slip. Okay, so what I did was I sprayed some of the chain lube stuff. I sprayed into the void and stuff like that, because you can see a little bit of don't know if it's from like machining process or something. You can see a little bit of like tiny bits of, I don't even know if you would call it surface rust. It looks orangish anyway. I don't know if that's an alloy or, don't think it's metal, the steel. So it could just be aluminium, so I could be wrong, but... Okay, so what you got to do is we've got to get our spacers. And now with these, I'll go and put a little bit of like copper grease in here and stuff like that. I know I've already got that chain lube there, and it'll dry, but it dries quite hard. It's basically for motorcycle chain, so it won't fling. But what it will hopefully do for me is just create a little protective layer there, really. And I'll put some more on the bolt so that it'll go through. You could, to be honest, I'd normally wait a bit for that chain lube to dry a bit more. It dries tacky anyway, but basically you just don't want stuff to be squeaking and making noises and stuff, really. You hear a lot of people complaining about like squeaks and stuff like that. And guys, it doesn't matter how messy this looks, because I'd rather have more grease in there and have less noises and stuff and less corrosion than have it all nice and shiny, to be fair. Okay, so I'll put a little bit down the side just so that it slips in a little bit easier. Because remember, the inside of that hasn't been done, so you know, I can only imagine it'll be corroded and rubbish. Okay. And as we know, expect to get messy. I may need to move the camera a little bit because it is in my damn way. Okay, this will fit. It might just need a little bit of a love tap. He says. That's pretty tight. Okay, give me a sec. I need to get this camera out of my face. Yeah, there's a slight imperfection in this one, in this Endlink. And when you get a little imperfection like this, with these tight tolerances, it becomes a big thing. So basically, to try and describe to you, okay, I have put a lot of grease and stuff on there. I do get that, so I can imagine it would have pushed it out slightly. But if you see here, when you put these washers on, you can see the black bit comes through. Oh, for God's sake. And then the same on the other side, you can see that bit of protrusion there. This doesn't. You can actually see here, look, it doesn't protrude at all. So the other side it does slightly, but doesn't here, so that means either the wash is slightly thicker, which I don't think, has something to do with that dowel, like the piece in the middle. So I'm just going to maybe give it a little love tap. I don't really fancy squashing these things in. I'll try and show you what I mean. Okay, see? So it sticks out there slightly. And yes, I've got some stuff there, but there's nothing really behind it blocking it. It's just a slight bit of liquid. But see the gap, the difference? Huge, right? It's massive. How much that sticks in. And that doesn't stick out too far. It's not the equal amount of that sticking out that far. So it's slightly short or something. Don't know what's going on there. But we'll just give it a little love tap and try and get it in. Guys and girls, this hasn't been pretty. Do not want to smack that shock. This is what I had to resort to, tapping this beautifully anodized Endlink. What a pain in the butt. But yeah, this just shows you the trials and tribulations you got. These are the hard bits, and as easy as what people show you on YouTube most of the time. So yeah, let me just keep tapping that and I'll get it in eventually. Okay, so I tapped the bolt through. You just kept hammering that away. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got a little nylock nut. Okay, you can see I've put copper grease all over that, and people are probably going to be like, it's not going to hold. it will be fine, trust me. I'd rather be double checking, you know, bolts being tight later than do what I have to do with regards to rust and stuff. I just cannot deal with it. So let me go do the same on the other side. The other side I bet you is going to go in so nicely because this was tight when it came out, I remember. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, oh, should have got another glove on, but never mind. Still the tight as well. Yeah, these don't fit that nice. Superstars, I'm gonna do the same thing, just gonna tap it in with a hammer. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? The way all the bits are floated up in the shape of the parts. So I'm gonna take this out and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we're a little bit of a mess right now, but what we're gonna do Dremel, because I don't really want to wait any. So normally what I would do is I could use, you could use your normal wire wool if you wanted to, and you can just knock off a bit of that excess, a little bit of built up rust. You knock it off a little bit, and then you pop it back into the juice. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bad boy, take a couple of them, give it a bit of a blast. But you know we're rocking safety first. You know we're rocking safety first. Come on man, get that. Fix it up, brother. Can't even see this goodness right here. There we go. Safety first, superstars, you know. Because I don't want to be blind, bruv. So you use those little things, get a bit of the build up off, and then we're laughing. So stick with me and watch. See what it gives. Don't know if you can see it, but bring the speed down a little bit. Yeah, it's a lot better using this than wire wool by hand. So this is like just bits of rubber and all that kind of stuff. You can even see it. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all those bits and then turn it off so you can actually hear it. Yeah, so I'll just keep doing that. That's pretty boring to watch. So yeah, let me get that out the way. I'm sure it looks like after. Yes, so that's a very quick before and after. So that's just with, I mean, this, to be honest, even looks better than what it did when it came off, because it's taken off a lot of the rust. But what you would do now is you would do that, get that to that stage. So there's only little bits of rust on it. Well, inside there it's a little bit more built up. You want to get all the rough edges off and stuff, because that'll eat the new bush to pieces. So what you would do is you'd get it to that stage. This is what I do anyway. And then I give it just another little dip. And then that we'll get off that last little remaining bit. It just gets it that little bit better, really. Give it another 15 minutes and I'll quickly clean up this part and then chuck it in as well quick. Over and out. What I did while I waited was I just cleaned all that up with a little bit of wire wool. Didn't go too rough, but just to get off the rubber, the bits that were left from the other bushes. And I did the same on the other side there. So now what I'll do is I'll spray it with some of this and let that sit. Like I say, this is just what I'm going to do. I need to take all the subframe off and everything and get this redone, or get it sprayed. Well, first remove all the rust and stuff. Yes, I need to do that. So I'm not going to do any other rust prevention stuff, because there's literally no point if I'm going to take it off in the end. Yeah, trying to record this is a bit of a weird one, superstar. Okay, so what we do is we know it needs to stay up. We go in. I've got this exhaust to contend with. You might not have. Everyone has different end cans. Okay, so I'm going to face it down for now. To be honest, I could really do with having the clips on, so I might just stop now, get these clips placed on, or these brackets to hold it, because otherwise I'll be messing about, I think. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to twist it. Or maybe I actually need to come in. I might need to come up. I'm thinking. A little bit more wiggle room here. I think I need to come in closer. Yeah, I think I need to get... What do I really... Okay. Give me a second, let me just try and wiggle it up. See if you guys can even see this, but... See, if you got the time, you can make it look really nice. Even if you can't get all the rust and stuff off, you just want to smooth out the inside and make sure you haven't got any of that rubber and that left over. But I mean, you guys saw the previous one, what it looked like previously. I mean, I could have even gone more into the chemical and stuff, but time's against me a little bit, so yeah, all of this stuff I would get off. Like these little dots, you could still get more of that off, really scrape it a little bit harder. But yeah, that'll look pretty cool there. I don't know if you can actually see it that hard, but let's try and get you guys to be able to see. Yeah, so it'll be pretty much hooked that up there. The ball will be behind it. Should look pretty sweet. I'm gonna spray this with that with the chain lube stuff anyway, just to keep the corrosion off a little bit more, because that's all I'm spraying it for behind and stuff. You'll get a lot of people who'll put underbody seal and stuff on like already corroded parts and stuff, and it's like cancer really. It'll just rot behind. This is by no means a fix, but it'll just keep the elements away from it a little bit more until I can get to it. So yeah, I'll spray the rest of the bits up and then yeah, show you guys the rest in a bit. Okay, so here's some more bits that I did. It's a bit silly the way I'm doing this at this camera angle, but literally have no choice, and it's quite windy as well, guys, so I apologise for that if it's windy. But yeah, look at that. There's some little bit of rust in the top of the cap still, but with regards to, you know, the way they looked before, those are the rusty ones that came out of there. Pretty cool, huh? And that's just, like I say, that chemical and the Dremel a little bit. I could have even got even a better finish, but we'll come back to that kind of stuff later with regards to restoration. I can make tons of videos for this car, so it's going to be amazing. We'll come back to them later. What I can show you guys now is I can put on the bush, I suppose. Yeah, this is the bit where you want to make sure you got the bar the right way around. Or do I remember where I stopped with this, to be honest. Do I want to try and get... Yeah, I need to try and get these into here first, maybe? Maybe I'll try in one side at a time. Give me a second. I'm going to try and... Well, I want it to go stiffest here, so... 3. Okay. Sorry, I'm not going to show you that side, guys, because I'm going to do the same here. So, hopefully you guys can see. I don't want to actually make this want to be a point to it, really, instead of me having my arm in the way. Okay, so what I need to do here is get this past. Okay, cool. So you can see the holes, right? Or can't you? Let me show you quick. Can you see the holes in there? So there's little holes, there's 3. I'm going to go in the middle. So it'll give me a medium, it won't be fully stiff, but... Okay, so what I did here as well is I need to... See, maybe... Okay, so when it's a little bit stiff like that, what you can do is you can slacken off the top nut there. Which way are we going? We're going left, loosey, righty, tighty. So you don't want to do too much, you don't want to be adjusting it now that much, but I'm going to get it off, just nip it off a little bit. And let me hold the bottom as well. Just loosen it off a little bit. If I can get this around, I'll be able to manipulate the head of that a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to be grunting and stuff like that, so just give me a second, I'll jump back on. To be honest with you, let me get these on, because if I don't get these on, it's going to cause, because there's not a lot of play and stuff with this. So, can you actually see what I'm doing here? Okay, so it's got a bit of a split in the bush, right? What we do, you take that split, you pop it over, And like you say, they reckon it's self-lubricating. I always have the opening of the bush upwards. Now where I'll put the lubricant is I'll put the lubricant all over the top here and then just around the edges. So yeah, you should get a little sachet of this stuff. High performance bushing lubricant. So take that off. I don't want to put too much. I'll put a little bit more in a sec, but I don't want to put too much because if I start touching everything and taking it on and off and that, it's going to go absolutely everywhere. So that's what I'll do. Put some here. This is because you don't want it to be squeaking and stuff. It's the last thing you want. And then I would go around the edge here. Because you won't put, there's like a little gold, let's say, yeah, like gold coloured, what would you call that? It's just like basically a clip that will stay, and it just keeps the bush in place really. It's a little stay. So yeah, so that's in my grease I'd put on, and then I'd pop this over. But now this is the part, right? So basically what you want to do here is you want to hook this bracket up to the top. So me putting that in here is going to make this just that little bit harder potentially, but should be fine. There we go. Okay, so it wasn't the end of the world. But now this is the bit where some people are adjusting just the Endlink and stuff. Now you can do, mine's, you'll see it, like if you measure it up to where the old Endlink was, it has a bit of an angle on it. So I mean I'm not I don't set up suspension that professionally and that, and you could probably dial it out a little bit to make it so that it angles not. The difference is you got to remember that when the wheel comes up, it'll lay true. Yeah, so just be mindful of that really, because now the suspension's totally off load, the wheels are up in the air. So just think of little things like that. You might want to lower the car down a little bit to get this in, or just jack the wheel up. So you could do different things to get that to go in nicely, like a little bit easier. Like I said, I'm gonna mess with the other side now quick, and then I'll come back in a sec. Okay, so I went and greased up the other side as well. With regards to this greasing stuff, you can't grease it too much, so you won't over grease it. So don't worry about it. You shouldn't have anything left in it. Okay, so now there we go. Oh, my mistake. I need to put a washer on here. At least I just noticed that. Okay, so there we go. So I think it's a washer each side. Do I want to? Yeah, let me just put a little bit of copper grease on that. Did I even get any on that side? Not really. The same thing with this, guys. I'm not shy with it. I don't want to have any squeaks. And what I will do is I'm going to spray a bit of that anti-corrosion stuff into where that Allen wrench would go, because they like to get caked up full of rubbish. And that will potentially put in, like, a lot of rubbish will collect. That's the thing, when you put greases and stuff, you will get a lot of dirt and that collecting on it, but what won't happen is it won't corrode. So yeah, your choice really. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is just go pop the washer on the other side, because I forgot the other side as well, so I'm going to do the washer quick. Okay, washer's on the other side, and then let's get a washer on this side as well. Now the thing is, there's quite a few washers here, so I did this the last time. I think I put, the last time I did it, I don't know if I put two on the inside and then two on the outside, or something like that, but I'm just going to go one and one. I didn't notice a reason for it, to be honest. It says there is a lot of washers. So give me a sec. I'm just trying to double check the manual and see if it actually tells you how many washers to put whilst we're here. I may as well do it. May as well open the manual now. We've got this far. I've seen the error of my ways, young Padawan. this is where I've made the mistake. They reckon you should just put the washers on each of these. Oh gosh, don't. That Endlink was such a nightmare to get in, so was the other side. So I don't necessarily want to be messing with that, but hey ho. Let's put a little bit of that copper goodness up in there. Let's get that. Oh yeah. Love this stuff. So what are we doing? So we've got, I'm gonna make sure I've got enough of everything. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, most people when you see a nylock, you're not gonna want to be putting grease everywhere, but I'm not like most normal people. So there we go. I'll clean up around the edge of that later. Like I said, I'd rather have a little too much lube everywhere. Okay, and then just get that through. Okay, so what have we got? So if you give me 2 seconds again, guys, I'm gonna go do the other side and put the washers because I didn't do that side either. Okay, this bit is gonna most definitely be harder to record. So I think I'm gonna show you the beginning of it and not show you me struggling tightening it on. Okay, so what you'll do is, let me do this again myself. Put some. This is that bolt I was telling you about. That's a bit weirdly shaped. It's like a locking nut. Well, it is a locking nut. Guess what I would do is I'd go finger tight till I feel it go. Okay. Just gonna put a little bit of slip in there. Okay, so now you've got a little Allen. So the first time I did this, I really royally messed it up because I didn't know what I was doing really. Okay, so you need 17 mil and a 5. So if you're lucky enough and you have a adjustable wrench, you know, that'll be nice because you can put an extender on or something and hold it. And I'm gonna attempt to, I think I remember, well, normally when I do it I'll put my arm around the other side, and that's why I found it really hard to record last time. So let me just try and just show you. So yeah, just a little open-ended spanner. Well, that's because it's a weird nut, you're just gonna have to, and then what I'll do is I'd hold that on there and then begin tightening. But like I say, it's a very painful process and a slow process, so I'm not going to bore you with it, but you can see how you should do it. Okay, so after an absolute age, which was tightening on that, I'll nip him up a bit in a sec, but I take him to moderately tight, and then I will, like I said, I'll go around and nip everything up at the end. That's still loose, so let's do that now while I remember. I need another 17. Come on. 17 mil. Yeah, can you guys still see it? Okay, so pretty much break it there. Get that finger tight. So hold that. And now, yeah, try not to chop my fingers here. Do the old guillotine. Okay, so hold that. It's alloy, so just be careful. I'll give it a bit of juice, but not too much. Okay, so how are we doing? Let me juice up the bottom as well. I'll juice up the bottom one off camera because it's a bit of a dodgy angle. Just make sure I've given that enough. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go do the other side in a sec, but what are we going to do here? Shall we tighten these up? We got... so weird with this camera in the way. Okay, I'll give that a bit more juice actually, because what I'm thinking is I'll show you guys. So what I normally do is I leave all of this stuff. Can you actually see? Yeah, I leave all of this till the end, because you sometimes have to wobble this around and move it about and stuff. So let me actually just put these back on quick. It's the same thing here. Generous amount of copper slip. Top, bottom, it doesn't matter, because remember it's hanging in anyway. You might need to move the brackets. Just try and start the threads off. I sprayed a bit of that anti-corrosion stuff as well on. I just put tons of this stuff because I can't stand trying to get out rusty bolts. I'll clean up everywhere afterwards. Clean up all around the edges. You don't want to leave excess everywhere, because like I say, it will attract dirt. But sometimes if you attract the dirt, it doesn't matter, because it'll leave a protective layer. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll tighten them on quick. What are we doing? 12 mil. Okay, so you get it. Let me quickly just tighten them on. You don't need to see that. I'll have a nice little nip up here. So we've tightened up that, we've tightened up that, tightened that, tightened these. Now I'm just going to give this one last little nip up. It does help if you tighten it and not loosen it. The reason why I go around and do a little bit more is just because you do find that once you've tightened up all the other bits, this does get actually a bit loose. So let me quickly just do this, it takes ages. Okay, so now it's time to put on these little clasps. And these are, yeah, fiddly. So let's undo them. So basically what I do is we'll be putting these just in here basically. Just stops excessive play. So they say. But honestly, when you put these when you do the full set, like I've got the front, I'm just waiting for Endlinks for the front. So those will be going on this week sometime. So I'll do you guys a little video of that as well. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put the backing bit, the bit that it screws into, put it in here. Now I'll grease that up too. I'll put a bit of grease in there. I'll just juice that up. Where's my little... I should have some of that grease left. Because also these are the... It's when you know, these are the bits that will squeak, man. Serious. These are the bits that are going to give you a headache. A tiny thing like this. And the grease will help it stay there too. It's like a little bit of like a glue. And put a little bit in the front. That's always just save a little bit. I've got copper grease still that I could use. And that's that. And I'll go and screw those 2 screws in. And that's me. There you go. So I put a little bit of copper grease on the end of these. Like I say, this bar's solid, so you'll damage these aluminium bits before you damage that bar. I nip it up quite tight, but I'm also aware that you don't want to make it overly tight. But there we go. So I cleaned it up a little bit. So that's what you'll end up with. if I can get some nice focus here. So there we go, so there's your Endlink, all nice and tight, new bolt there, there's the sway bar. I've just got to put one of those little stoppers up on the inside there, so it's pretty cool now. And that is it. It is not overly quick install at all. It's, if you don't do much mechanic stuff, I think you'll find it quite hard, but it's nice once you've done it. And like I say, it is the best mod for an Impreza all day every day. How glad am I that that's gone. Jeez, look at it. Look at the state of it. Rusted and knackered. It's these bushes are just done. Absolutely gone. Yeah, so it's going to be nice and stiff. We do the fronts and then we're laughing.
Superstars, all good. You've seen it. It's finished. Still smiling. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. It was a little bit harder this time. It took me near enough the whole day. I just wanted to get it right. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I say, just in the beginning, if all you want to do is just literally outfit them, then you've got that bit where I've shown you the guide. Literally pause it there and watch through my video if you want to. I recorded slightly less of the whole process than I did the first time when I did it on the WRX, just because there's a lot going on. And I think, well, when looking at the metrics and stuff, people didn't really watch that whole video through. So hopefully you can just see the key parts in this video, and hopefully it makes a little more sense. If not, you give me a shout in the comments. I'll make the video slightly different. If you prefer me just messing about like I normally do, just make a comment. But yeah, I'm gonna do the front ones as well, and then got other bits to do on the car. But yeah, hopefully you liked it. Like, subscribe, you know how we roll. In a bit, superstars.